8 types of people to steer clear of in old age, including family members. As you age, one of the most valuable lessons life imparts is the discernment of which relationships to maintain and which to let go. While family and friends often bring happiness and support, others only add stress, manipulation, and negativity. In your later years, it's crucial to prioritize your health, peace of mind, and overall happiness over maintaining harmful relationships, even if it means distancing yourself from certain relatives. Remember, growing older is a privilege, and you have every right to spend your golden years surrounded by those who lift you up rather than those who deplete your energy or make you feel less than. Deciding who remains in your life and who doesn't is crucial to preserving your well-being and ensuring a joyful life. Here are 8 types of individuals you should avoid as you grow older to protect your inner peace, conserve your energy, and enjoy a rewarding existence. 1. The energy vampires. They sap your emotional and physical energy. Eventually, you come to understand that not everyone who enters your life should have a place in it. Certain individuals, regardless of how long they've been a part of your world, leave you feeling hollow instead of enriched. These are the energy vampires, people who continuously take from you without offering anything significant in return. 1. At first, they may seem harmless, even well-intentioned. They appear to value your presence, constantly seeking your advice, your ear, your reassurance. But as time passes, you begin to notice the pattern. Their problems always take center stage, their needs always come first, and their struggles always demand your attention. The moment you attempt to share something about yourself, your emotions, your thoughts, your own hardships, they quickly redirect the conversation back to themselves. To them, you are not a person with your own life, but a source of emotional fuel, someone to absorb their burdens while they unload their worries onto you. The trouble with energy vampires is that their hunger for validation and sympathy is never-ending. No matter how much time, patience, and care you pour into them, it is never enough. They are bottomless wells of negativity, and the more you give, the more they take. They don't look for solutions, they look for an audience to their suffering. And while they offload their burdens onto you, they never once consider how it affects you. They don't ask if you have the energy to carry their weight. They don't acknowledge the toll it takes on your mind and spirit. Over time, they leave you feeling drained, emotionally exhausted, and depleted. What makes them especially dangerous in old age is that your energy is no longer an unlimited resource. In youth, you may have had the resilience to listen endlessly, to endure their complaints, to be their support system, even when it was overwhelming. But in later years, your emotional well-being must become your priority. You no longer have the luxury of wasting your days feeling weighed down by the emotional baggage of others. Each moment is precious, and every bit of energy you have should be spent on things and people who genuinely bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment. Letting go of an energy vampire is not an act of cruelty, it is an act of self-preservation. If someone constantly drains your spirit without adding anything meaningful to your life, you must learn to step away. You cannot afford to waste your mature years feeling exhausted by someone else's endless cycle of negativity. Protect your peace, reclaim your time, and choose to spend your days with people who uplift you rather than those who leave you feeling empty. 2. The manipulators. They use you for their own gain. There is a quiet, insidious kind of harm that does not come with loud arguments or obvious betrayals. It comes disguised as love, concern, and loyalty. It comes from people who claim to have your best interest at heart, but in reality, they are only interested in what they can gain from you. These are the manipulators, the ones who twist your emotions, shape your thoughts, and influence your actions for their own benefit, all while making you believe that it was your choice. Manipulators rarely ask for what they want outright. Instead, they create a situation where you feel guilty for not giving them what they need. They plant the idea that saying no to them is selfish, that setting boundaries means you don't care, and that distancing yourself makes you a bad person. They disguise their demands in the language of love. If you really cared about me, you would help me. I just need this one thing and then I'll be okay. After everything I've done for you, can't you do this for me? These words are not requests. They are carefully crafted emotional traps designed to make you feel obligated to say yes. The most dangerous part about manipulators is that their tactics can be so subtle that you may not even realize what is happening at first. You may feel like you are simply being a good friend, a devoted family member, a responsible parent or grandparent. But over time, you begin to notice that your needs always come second. Your feelings are never fully acknowledged, and your choices are no longer entirely your own. You are not being loved. You are being controlled. You are not being valued. You are being used. As you age, the cost of manipulation becomes even greater. Your time, your energy, and your peace of mind are no longer things you can afford to waste on people who only see you as a means to an end. Every moment you spend catering to their unreasonable demands is a moment you take away from yourself, from your happiness, your health, your passions, and your genuine relationships. This is not selfishness. This is survival. Letting go of a manipulator is difficult because they have spent years making you feel responsible for their well-being. But the truth is, you are not responsible for fixing other people's problems, for making them happy, or for carrying burdens that are not yours to bear. Your later years should be filled with peace, with people who respect your choices and honor your independence, not with those who use guilt and obligation to keep you under their control. The moment you recognize a manipulator in your life is the moment you take the first step toward reclaiming your freedom. You owe it to yourself to walk away. 3. The chronic complainers. Nothing is ever good enough for them. Some people carry a storm with them wherever they go. No matter how bright the day is, no matter how many blessings they have, they always find a reason to be dissatisfied. These are the chronic complainers, the ones who see life through a lens of disappointment and negativity, who cannot appreciate what they have because they are too focused on what they lack. Their complaints are not occasional frustrations, but a way of life, a pattern that never seems to break. At first, you may listen out of politeness, thinking they simply need to vent. But over time, you begin to realize that their grievances are never ending. They complain about their health, yet they refuse to take care of themselves. They complain about their family, yet they make no effort to mend broken relationships. They complain about the world, yet they do nothing to change their perspective. Their negativity is like a shadow that follows them, darkening every conversation, every gathering, every moment that could have been peaceful or joyful. What makes chronic complainers so difficult to be around is that their misery is contagious. The more you listen, the more you begin to absorb their pessimism. Even if you entered the conversation feeling hopeful, you leave it feeling drained. Their words plant seeds of doubt in your mind, making you question your own happiness. If you share good news, they will find a way to downplay it. If you talk about your dreams, they will remind you of all the ways things could go wrong. If you try to steer the conversation towards something positive, they will resist, as if happiness itself is an inconvenience to them. In old age, when every day is precious, you must protect yourself from this kind of negativity. There is already enough hardship in life, aging, loss, and the challenges that come with time. Why make it harder by surrounding yourself with people who refuse to see the beauty in life? You have lived too long, endured too much, and overcome too many obstacles to spend your final years listening to complaints that lead nowhere. Walking away from chronic complainers does not mean you lack compassion. It means you choose to preserve your peace. There is a difference between supporting someone through difficult times and allowing someone's negativity to consume you. You cannot fix people who refuse to find joy in their own lives, and it is not your responsibility to carry their dissatisfaction for them. Your later years should be filled with laughter, gratitude, and the company of those who appreciate life. Let the complainers drown in their own misery if they must, but do not let them take you down with them. 4. The jealous relatives. They can't stand your happiness. Jealousy is a quiet poison, and when it comes from family, it cuts deeper than any betrayal from a stranger. You expect family to be your strongest support system, to celebrate your joys, to be proud of the life you've built. But sometimes, the people who should be the happiest for you are the ones who resent you the most. Jealous relatives are not just envious of your success or your comfort. They are threatened by your ability to find happiness in ways they never could. At first, their jealousy may be subtle. A passive-aggressive comment here, a dismissive remark there. If you share good news, they might respond with a forced smile or a half-hearted acknowledgement, as if your joy is an inconvenience to them. They never truly celebrate your victories. Instead, they search for ways to downplay them, to remind you that you are not as special as you think. They compare, they criticize, and they subtly make you feel as though your happiness is something to be ashamed of. The danger of jealous relatives is that their resentment rarely stays hidden. Over time, it grows, and they begin to act on it. Maybe they spread rumors within the family, casting doubt on your character or your accomplishments. Maybe they try to turn others against you, painting themselves as the victim while making you seem like the one who has done wrong. Or maybe they simply refuse to acknowledge your existence, punishing you with silence, withholding love and connection, as if your happiness is something they must reject. You may wonder why their jealousy exists at all. Perhaps they are stuck in their own disappointments, unable to accept that life turned out differently for them than it did for you. Maybe they see in you everything they wish they had: peace, stability, purpose. Or maybe their bitterness has nothing to do with you at all, but they need someone to project it onto. Either way, you cannot carry the weight of their insecurities. As you grow older, you must learn that it is not your job to shrink yourself for the comfort of others. You do not have to downplay your happiness to protect their fragile egos. You do not have to make yourself smaller just because they cannot handle the fullness of your life. Let them be bitter if they must. Let them stay trapped in their own resentment. But do not let their jealousy take away your right to feel joy. You have earned every bit of happiness that comes your way, and you deserve to enjoy it without apology, without guilt, and without fear of who might be watching. 5. The family users. They only show up when they need something. Family should be built on love, respect, and mutual care. But for some, family is nothing more than a resource, an ATM, a favour dispenser, a safety net they take for granted. These are the family users, the ones who only come around when they need something from you. They do not visit to check on you, to share a laugh, or to offer their time. They show up with empty hands but heavy expectations, ready to take, but never to give. At first, you may convince yourself that they mean well. Maybe they just need a little help. Maybe they are busy with their own lives. But patterns do not lie. Notice how they only call when they need money, how they only stop by when they require a favour, how their words of affection always come with a request attached. If you ever say no, their warmth turns to coldness, their kindness disappears. Suddenly, you are accused of being selfish, of not caring, of forgetting all that they have done for you. But what have they really done? When was the last time they offered you something without expecting something in return? The worst part of dealing with family users is the emotional conflict they create within you. You are raised to believe that family is everything, that turning your back on them is wrong. And so, each time they ask, you give, because it feels like the right thing to do. But deep down, you know this is not love. Love is reciprocal. Love is freely given, not demanded, not guilt-tripped, not manipulated. As you grow older, your time, your money, and your energy become more precious than ever. You can no longer afford to waste them on people who only see you as a convenience, not a person. You should not have to question whether someone's affection is genuine or transactional. You should not have to wonder if their presence in your life is real or just an opportunity for them to take advantage of you. Letting go of family users is painful but necessary. It does not mean you are abandoning them. It means you are choosing to protect yourself. If a relationship is built on expectation rather than appreciation, on taking rather than giving, on obligation rather than love, then it is not a relationship worth holding on to. You deserve family that shows up not just when they need something, but simply because they love you. And if that is too much to ask of them, then it is time to ask yourself if they deserve a place in your life at all. 6. The overly critical people. They never appreciate you. There are few things in life more exhausting than constantly being judged by those who claim to care about you. Some people seem to have an endless supply of criticism, always ready to point out what you did wrong, what you could have done better, and why you are never quite enough. These overly critical people do not offer guidance or wisdom. They do not speak from a place of love. Their words are meant to diminish, to make you question yourself, to remind you that in their eyes you will never measure up. At first, you may try to brush off their remarks. Maybe they mean well, maybe they are just being honest, but over time their words begin to take root. You start to hesitate before speaking, second-guess your decisions, and wonder if perhaps they are right. If perhaps, despite all you have accomplished, you are still falling short. You carry their judgments with you, hearing their voices in your head even when they are not around. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to doubt yourself in ways you never did before. The most painful part of dealing with overly critical people is that they often disguise their negativity as care. They tell you they are only saying these things because they want what is best for you. But true care does not belittle. True love does not make you feel smaller, weaker, or unworthy. If someone only ever points out your flaws, never your strengths, then their words are not meant to help you. They are meant to control you. As you grow older, you must learn to separate constructive advice from toxic criticism. Wisdom uplifts. It encourages growth, even when it points out mistakes. But relentless criticism does nothing but wear you down. You have lived a full life, made difficult choices, and survived things that others will never understand. You do not need to explain yourself to those who refuse to see your value. You do not need to justify your existence to those who find fault in everything you do. You deserve to spend your later years in the company of those who appreciate you, who recognize your worth, who remind you of the strength and wisdom you carry. Walk away from those who make you feel small. Release the need for their approval. The only voice you need to listen to is your own, the one that tells you that, after everything you have been through, you are more than enough. 7. The drama creators. They live for chaos. Some people are never at peace unless there is conflict brewing around them. They thrive on tension, seek out arguments, and find ways to stir up problems where none exist. These drama creators are not interested in resolution or understanding. They are only interested in the thrill of emotional turmoil. No matter how stable and peaceful your life may be, they will always find a way to bring chaos to your doorstep. At first, you may believe their conflicts are real, that their endless grievances deserve your attention. They come to you with stories of betrayal, of unfairness, of how the world is always against them. But if you step back and look closely, you will notice a pattern. The details of their drama may change, but the theme is always the same. They are the victim, someone else is to blame, and it is up to you to take their side. They do not seek advice or solutions. They seek validation for their outrage, and if you refuse to engage, they will turn their frustration towards you, making you feel guilty for not participating in their cycle of dysfunction. Drama creators drain your energy not just through their constant conflicts, but through the emotional manipulation they bring with them. They pull people into their battles, forcing family and friends to take sides. They distort facts, twist conversations, and create divisions between people who might otherwise get along. And when things finally calm down, they find a way to start it all over again, because peace to them is too quiet, too dull, too unbearable. As you age, you come to understand that peace is one of the most valuable things in life. You no longer have the time or patience to entertain unnecessary conflict, to be dragged into meaningless arguments, to waste your days caught in someone else's chaos. The older you get, the more you realize that your emotional well-being is too important to be sacrificed for someone else's need for attention. Walking away from drama creators does not mean you are avoiding reality or ignoring problems. It means you are choosing a life that is free from unnecessary stress. It means you are protecting your time, your energy, and your heart from being consumed by battles that are not yours to fight. The next time someone tries to pull you into their storm, step away. Let them spin in circles. Let them chase conflict. Let them live in the drama they create. But do not let them take you with them. You have earned the right to live in peace. Hold on to it and never let it go. 8. The self-centered individuals. They only care about themselves. There is a certain loneliness that comes from being surrounded by people who never truly see you. Self-centered individuals move through life as if they are the only ones who matter. Every conversation, every interaction, every relationship revolves around their needs, their wants, their problems. To them, you are not a person with thoughts and feelings of your own. You are simply an audience, a supporting character in the story of their life. At first, you may not notice how one-sided your relationship with them has become. They may seem charming, engaging, even warm. They know how to hold your attention, how to make you feel included, until you realize that the moment you speak about yourself, their interest fades. They do not ask about your life, your thoughts, or your well-being. And if they do, it is only out of obligation, a brief pause before the conversation returns to what really matters to them, themselves. The truth about self-centered people is that they do not truly value connection. They seek admiration, validation, and attention, but they do not offer those things in return. They expect you to listen, to care, to support them, yet they are absent when you need the same. You could be struggling, hurting, or facing challenges of your own, but they would never notice because in their world, nothing is as important as what they are going through. As you grow older, you begin to understand the weight of wasted time. You no longer have the energy to invest in relationships that do not nourish you, in conversations that leave you feeling invisible, in people who never stop to ask how you are truly doing. It is a painful realization, recognizing that someone you once cared for never really cared for you in return. But the sooner you see it, the sooner you can free yourself from the exhaustion of trying to be seen by someone who refuses to look beyond themselves. Choosing to step away from self-centered individuals is not an act of anger, but an act of self-respect. You deserve relationships that are built on mutual appreciation, where your presence is valued, not just tolerated. You deserve to be surrounded by people who listen, who give as much as they take, who make you feel like you matter. Walk away from those who see only themselves and choose to spend your remaining years with those who see you fully, completely, and with genuine care. That is the kind of love and companionship you have always deserved. Final thought. Prioritize your peace. As the years pass, life teaches you one undeniable truth. Your time is precious, and the people you allow into your world will shape the quality of the years you have left. Not everyone who walks with you on your journey is meant to stay, and not everyone who calls you family deserves a place in your life. There comes a time when you must make a choice, not out of resentment, not out of bitterness, but out of wisdom. That choice is to protect your peace, even if it means letting go. You have spent a lifetime carrying the weight of responsibility, tending to the needs of others, and navigating relationships that were not always easy. But now, in this stage of life, your energy must be guarded. You no longer have the luxury of wasting time on people who drain you, manipulate you, criticize you, or make you feel like you are not enough. You have given enough, endured enough, sacrificed enough. What remains of your journey should be filled with joy, laughter, and the comfort of true companionship. Let this be the season of your life where you surround yourself with those who bring warmth, not coldness, who celebrate you, not who make your days lighter rather than heavier. It is not selfish to walk away from those who bring stress, conflict, and negativity into your life. It is an act of self-preservation. The world has taken enough from you. You do not have to give it more than you already have. The lesson is simple. You cannot change people, but you can change who you allow in your space. You are not responsible for fixing others, for making them see their faults, or for saving them from themselves. Some people will never change, and waiting for them to do so will only rob you of the peace you deserve. Make wise choices. Opt for peace instead of conflict, joy instead of obligation, and love instead of guilt. Most importantly, choose yourself. You've earned that privilege. You've earned the right to live your life on your own terms, surrounded by those who genuinely value and appreciate you. Release what no longer benefits you and move forward into the future with clarity, strength, and a heart free from the burdens of those who were never meant to stay. These teachings are designed to motivate you to live a life that's both full and true to yourself. I'd love to hear from you now. Take a moment to reflect and share something you've learned and intend to implement in your life. Let's support each other in this journey to embrace these truths. If you found value in this video, please leave a comment with a 1. If not, a 0 is also welcome. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Timeless Wisdom, for more insights like this. Thank you for watching, and cheers to living life on your terms.